me interrupt something gently but clearly. You did not lose yourself. You did not become lazy. You did not become ungrateful. You did not suddenly forget how to be ambitious. You outgrew your career. And if that feels confronting, stay with me. Because if rest, leave, or vacations did not fix your exhaustion, this will explain why. You know this moment. And you finally stepped out. You finally stepped away. You took the proper break. You unplugged. You slept. You did everything you were supposed to do. For a few days, you felt light. And then Sunday night arrived. That tightness in your chest, that quiet dread, that heavy thought. I do not want to go back. Not because you cannot do the job. You can. That is the problem. You are good at it. But something feels off. And that is when the internal dialogue begins. Why am I like this? I used to love this. Have I lost my drive? Let me say this clearly. You did not lose yourself. You evolved. And your career did not. Here is the myth we need to dismantle. Burnout is not just about working too hard. If it were, rest would fix it. Vacations would reset you. Long weekends would restore you. But burnout is not a tired body problem. It is a misaligned identity problem. You can rest physically while continuing to violate your values daily. You can sleep 8 hours and still wake up emotionally depleted. And because burnout does not come from effort alone, it comes from living too long in a version of yourself that no longer fits. Let's slow down. Let's slow this down. 10, 15, 20 years ago, you built a career around who you were then. Your priorities were different. Your tolerance was different. Your ambitions were different. You may have been proving something, surviving something, escaping something, building security, becoming independent. That version of you was powerful. She got you here, but she is not the only version of you. And now you have grown. Your nervous system has changed. Your values have matured. Your capacity for misalignment has decreased, but your career structure stayed the same. That is not losing yourself. That is outgrowing a container. Imagine wearing shoes you loved in your 20s. They were stylish. They fit your lifestyle. They matched everything. But your feet changed. You try to squeeze them. You try to squeeze into them now. You can technically walk in them, but it hurts. You do not need to blame your feet. And you do not need to shame the shoes. They just do not fit anymore. Outgrowing is not failure. It is development. Here is where many smart women make the wrong conclusion. They assume the discomfort means I chose wrong, or worse, there is something wrong with me. So they try to fix it with rest, or with productivity hacks, or with motivational podcasts, or with fantasies of quitting everything. But here is the deeper truth. Burnout at mid-career is often grief. Grief for the identity that carried you this far. Grief for the version of you that no longer fits. Grief for realizing that what once felt meaningful now feels mechanical. And grief needs reflection, not impulsive action. Here is what most career advice gets wrong. It assumes burnout means start over, but if you start over without understanding what you outgrew, you will rebuild the same structure with a new label. Different company, same internal exhaustion. Different industry, same emotional labor. Different title, same stressed self. That is why rest did not fix it. That is why changing environment sometimes does not fix it either, because the real shift required is internal. Let's re-anchor this. Burnout is not proof that you failed. It's data. It's information. It's your system saying the role I am playing no longer reflects who I am becoming. Notice the language. Not who you were, who you are becoming. That is evolution. So what actually works? Not escape, not dramatic quitting, not chasing passion, internal realignment. That begins with questions most women were never invited to ask. What values feel non-negotiable to me now? What parts of myself have I muted to remain successful? What types of environment allows me to feel calm become, not just competent. What emotional labor am I carrying that no longer feels aligned? These are identity questions, and identity must be clarified before direction can be chosen, because clarity comes before courage and alignment comes before action. Let me give you a pop culture image. Think of a long-running TV series. In early seasons, the character is driven, ambitious, hungry, but by season 8, she is different, more nuanced, more self-aware, less willing to tolerate chaos. If the writers keep forcing her into the same old storylines, it feels unnatural. That's mid-career burnout. You evolved. The script did not. The solution is not canceling the show. It is rewriting the arc. Let me anchor this gently. If you feel disconnected, you did not lose yourself. If success feels heavy instead of fulfilling, you did not fail. If you are questioning everything at the height of your competence, you are not ungrateful. You are outgrowing, and outgrowing is a sign of depth. Before you make a drastic move, pause, not to stay stuck, but to stabilize your identity. Because when identity is anchored, you stop chasing relief. You start choosing alignment. You stop asking, should I escape? And you start asking, what actually fits the woman I am now? That question changes everything. You do not need to destroy your life to feel alive again. You need to integrate who you have become, and when you do that, work fast, your next career move will not feel chaotic. It will feel inevitable, grounded, strategic, peaceful, and deeply yours. You did not lose yourself. You grew, and now your life needs catch up. I'll see you on the next one.